This is the K95.3 Sports Show podcast, brought to you by The Fan Zone in Wilmer's Candy Mall.
Welcome to the K95.3 Sports Show podcast. My name is Beau. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you, if you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button. Hit the thumbs up button for the video. Comment below if you think we're totally wrong about something, you totally agree about something, whatever. Let's go back and forth a little bit. Also, if you're on your cell phone, make sure you hit the bell right next to the subscribe button, and it'll give you a push notification every Wednesday morning when I drop a new episode so you can listen. As usual, thank you to the Fan Zone for sponsoring the show. We appreciate them doing it. And we'll be talking Vikings Draft this week. And I as I do every year, I'll be down at the Draft Party Live. It's down at US Bank Stadium. And it's been a blast the last few years down there. It's amazing to stand in the middle of the field and just kind of look around and just how huge it is. So I'm actually almost 100% going to go live on the channel here, and so maybe some people can see just what it looks like from the ground floor a little bit more than what the news will show you, just little snippets that they've cut in and cut out. But I'll probably be doing that. That'll be Thursday night at sometime around supper time, and we'll go from there. But of course, the video will be up there for people to watch later if you hear this after the draft party. But let's jump into things here. My guest brought one who hasn't been here for a while.
That's
Josh
great.
Swift, how's it going, Josh?
Great, and I'm glad to be back.
Yeah,
Excited
man.
to talk about the Vikings again.
Yes. Nice to have you. And then we brought back Dr. Brian Paulson. How are you doing, Brian?
Great. Glad to be back as well.
Good. And say it's been a little bit. You joined myself and my dad for the end of the season, one of the end of the season recaps for the Vikings. So
Correct.
Nice.
It's good to have you back in here. It's like you said, it's nice to talk football again too, because I mean, let's be honest, hockey was just not doing it, and I don't know as much. And
Yeah.
baseball, I'm getting more into it, but it's nice to be talking football.
Sounds
Yes.
like the Hockey's one of the more disappointing Minnesota teams. So
Yeah.
Yeah, it can be. Yes.
next to maybe the Vikings.
Yeah.
Let's be positive about the Vikings.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes, positive about Vikings. So before we get into the draft, we'll talk Thielen. With his extension.
Yes, Adam Thielen. Last time I was here, I think we talked about Adam Thielen in his about to set his new record, and he did actually during the Saints game that I went to. So it was a great time. Yeah, I like Adam Thielen, and yes, that contract is quite big.
Good for him. How nice is that?
Yeah.
I mean, the guy busts his butt to get where he's at and pays off.
Yeah.
Probably one of the hardest working guys in the NFL.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
great success story.
Yeah,
great
if you've
success
read
story.
that story about him, it's just amazing where he came from, what he did, and where he's at now.
If you ever get online and watch some of his training protocols, it's pretty impressive what he does.
I got to check
really?
that out.
Yeah.
I'll have to check those out.
Being a little healthcare nerd I am, I tend to watch those things occasionally, and it's impressive. He does
Nice.
good work.
I'll have to check it out. Yeah, no, it's
Yeah, me too.
overall I was satisfied. Obviously we had signed him just before he broke out on his last contract, and this is just kind of a make good. Most teams wouldn't do that.
Right.
Most teams would be like, well, play out your, hey, we paid you for what you were doing, so
Yep. Keep playing,
Yeah.
and if you do good the last year, we'll re-sign you.
Yeah, so-
give you an extension.
yeah. And I thought they were going to even use it to save some money on the cap, but they actually, I think, only saved, if anything, like a little bit, or maybe it was even more. So it wasn't even a cap move necessarily. So that was
Right.
was even.
They don't even have to worry about it this year, I think. Isn't it just next year they have to worry about the
that's
money
when it
they
kicks
sign?
in, and that's my only worry. It was like, we've got a lot of money into the wide receiver position.
Yeah.
That worries me a little bit. But once again, we've got I think it proves how we got to nail multiple picks over these next several drafts.
Absolutely, especially our offensive line.
Yes.
But I still think signing Thielen as a good move.
Yeah, I agree.
Hometown
we
hero.
need to keep him.
It'd have been dumb to let him go.
Yeah, absolutely.
I agree.
He'd have been in a Patriots jersey if not.
oh yeah,
Oh,
absolutely.
yeah.
Right. So I mean,
They'll cut
no way.
Edelman, and here
be
comes
wa-
Thielen.
He'd be walking out of the Vikings training area there, just getting cut, and Belichick would already be there.
Right, yeah.
We don't need that.
yeah,
No.
exactly.
There's enough animosity towards the Patriots. We don't need that here.
Yeah, exactly. So obviously we all agree on that. My only worry is future cap things, but like I said, we got Brzezinski, who's the capologist that he is. So I'll let him worry about that.
Let's
So
hope
$64 million, 3 years. Is that what it was?
30 some guaranteed.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
But he's also the guy that might just say, "Hold my beer, watch this."
Exactly. Well, he had 113 receptions last year.
Well,
so,
I'm talking
I mean,
Brzezinski.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, hold my beer, I'm gonna get this.
Yeah. Well, we didn't think he was going to sign all the guys he did.
The guy's a guru.
Yeah, we didn't expect Diggs, Barr,
No, I thought Barr was gonna be gone.
I did too.
and Griffin,
Yeah.
and
Right.
Kendricks. We didn't expect all four
No.
of them to get nailed, and
No.
he did. Barr had his little change of heart, and that was nice.
I think we have a team.
Yeah, we'll see. Let's get some good picks here. Let's start looking here first. Round 1, pick 18. Obviously, if they pick anybody offensive other than offensive line, I think people will be disappointed.
Absolutely. I agree. So much so.
Even if it's like a guy who fell like 10 spots who was supposed to be like a top
Yeah, you
10
can't.
talent.
It's obviously all about protecting Cousins.
And
We
I-
signed Cousins, and if you can't protect your quarterback,
I saw
Well.
something today where Tommy Kramer even came out and said they'd be foolish not to draft 1 through 7 as an offensive line.
right?
Yeah. If his drunk ass can see that.
Right. Love Tommy Kramer. Love TK. One of the favorite guys growing up.
So, obviously, mock drafts, they are what they are. It's a guessing game overall. I'm going through here, getting ready for the show today. I was like, I'm going to check out a bunch of other people's mock drafts. And it's funny, you see somebody picking player A for the Vikings, and then the next person doesn't even have that person going in the first round.
Yeah.
or they have them going at the end or a few picks before them. It's such a crapshoot. But overall, who they have, the consensus, the 5 consensus names, I would say I have seen in no particular order, and then we'll kind of talk about who we might prefer over it. Andre Dillard,
Yep. I got him down too.
from Washington State.
Yep. He started all 13 games and all just 1 sack and 677 pass attempts. So that's pretty good.
nice. That's pretty nice.
I don't know if he'll fall to us because he's that good.
I've seen. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Some shows them falling to us, and some don't. So,
Yep.
what's going to happen? So that's a guy that might not make it to us. There's another one that I've seen on less boards, but has also been seen as this Jonah Williams from Alabama.
Yep.
He's
Outside
been
tackle.
on there. Yep. Then we've got Chris Lindstrom is another one from Boston College, right? Yep.
Yep.
And then we've got Garrett Bradbury.
That's the guy that intrigues me.
Me too. We'll come back to him.
Yeah.
We'll
Kind of
definitely
a sleeper, I think.
North Carolina State, and then of course there's Cody Ford from Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Got him
Yep.
down.
Yep.
Now, so from you guys, what do you see? Who do you like? Go and start with you, Josh. If somebody put a gun to your head, and said you
I
had
do
to
like
pick one.
Jonah Williams. I think that some other teams may have some things against him, but I think if he falls to us, we will take him. He's been an All-American in 2018, hands down. He's 21 years old, very good at what he does, and if he comes to the Vikings, he will be our left tackle for the Vikings.
See, and that's the thing too, is if they're taking tackle, obviously it's already been rumored that Reef would be moving into guard.
Right.
I don't know if I really want to move another tackle into guard because it worked out so well for us last year. Now, Reef is a better talent than Remmers is,
Right.
but still,
And O'Reilly was a surprise.
yes,
Done quite well.
or O'Neal,
O'Neal, excuse me.
yes, and that's what I'm saying. It's like so.
The
I mean,
O's.
yeah,
Well, there's Jawan Taylor from Florida. He's an outside tackle. He could be a day one starter, and if he drops to us, I think we'll take him also and move Reef to guard. So
yeah.
that's
I don't,
my opinion.
and I see them probably. I agree. That's what they'll do if they take an offensive tackle like that. I just don't know if I want to see that. You know what I mean?
I'm kind of confused with that too. Part of me, you definitely need that protection from the edge rush, but at the same time, it seems like the Vikings just need some maulers in the middle to open up some lanes.
Right.
Because
Right.
without a run game, they'll just unload on Cousins the entire game.
Exactly.
And so, this
exactly.
Garrett Bradbury guy, I don't know if you wanted to save it for later.
Cook
Yeah, no,
wasn't-
that's good. That's-
I look at him and they figured they'd slot him right away at center and move. I just went blank. Our center. now.
Elflein.
Elflein, thank you. Out to guard.
Right.
I mean, you put those two guys in the middle, And that's where Elflein seems to be. He played 3 years of that in college.
Yeah, exactly.
And
that's his more natural position, apparently.
Yeah, open up the lanes for the running backs.
So if you can get some guys that'll just, be the road graders and clear a hole,
Yep.
it'd be nice.
Mm-hmm.
You can open
Be
the
able
play
to
action.
block.
You can do all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
And I think that's where Cousins would do well in a play action setting too.
Well, even with Zimmer's offense, what they got going there, I think, they want to run first. I think last year we talked about this quite a bit, how we didn't get a running game going, and it messed up a lot of things, especially for a quarterback situation.
You can kind of let the edge rush go if you got a good guard and tackles and let him just plug up the middle.
Right.
Let Cook run up the middle.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't know.
Yeah, no, I do. I really like Bradbury. He's kind of my number 2. My number 1 is Cody Ford. I like Cody Ford as, obviously he started at right tackle, but any scout says that he'd make a better guard than tackle in the NFL. Of course.
He's got great footwork.
Yeah, and of course he, and that's just nice that he knows how to play both just in case anyways. I mean, it doesn't hurt to have a guy who knows how to play multiple positions on the offensive line.
Exactly.
And Chris Collinworth's like the guy, so I mean, there you go.
Yeah.
I mean, that guy likes him, so right there. I mean, when he played for the Bengals, he knew everything, right?
Yeah.
I heard he's a great run blocker also, so.
Yes. I heard he's better at run blocking, not as much as pass blocking, but it's something that he can definitely get better at.
Right.
And zone blocking scheme that we're going to be doing this year should hopefully help him with that.
Exactly.
But first team All Big 12, sorry. Second honoree by media. It just started all of it at right tackle for all 14. I mean, second team honoree last year. So I really like Cody Ford out of all of them, but I like Bradbury because of that center aspect also. Once again, a guy who can play multiple positions, just like Cody Ford.
Especially between the
Right.
tackles,
Exactly.
not at the tackle spot.
Yes, and so, it'll be, like I said, if they do not call out an offensive lineman for round 1, it's going to be interesting to see. That's what's going to be fun.
If it's a cornerback, I quit.
That's going to be what's going to be fun about being live at the draft party,
I bet.
just to see people's reaction if they don't say offensive lineman.
Yeah, exactly.
It'll be interesting.
Usually people want the high running back, the quarterback, or the receiver. We know what we need here as Minnesotans, and we need a offensive line.
Right.
Yes, we definitely know we need that, and so well, obviously we all want offensive line. We've kind of given our favorites out of the guesses that people are saying that we might get. Now going over to round 2, that's even more of a crapshoot. And like I said, like I was mentioning to Brian before you got here, Josh, is that I used to be dialed in to the draft like hardcore like 3-4 years ago. Obviously, and before that, because obviously, like I said, I go to the draft party every year, and so obviously you got to be a little bit into it,
Right?
to be going to the draft party. So, but over the last few years, I've kind of stepped back a little bit and just did like this, a little more casual look at it, just a few days or a week earliest prior, just because it is such a crapshoot.
It is.
None of we'll have a trade or two probably by the 10th pick, and that just will screw everybody's board up anyways. And it's
Well,
I
play fantasy, and I know how a draft goes when you play fantasy football. The NFL draft is no different, especially when people want to trade somebody up or whatever you got. So
no, it's
Well, and everybody else, all the prognosticators, their picks change weekly anyway.
oh yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And no coach is going to give up his hand before the
And
draft anyways.
Right. And us armchair quarterbacks know it all here. So,
Yes, of course. We're experts.
Exactly. That's why you have us on.
Exactly. So let's get to round 2. I've one. Let me see if I can find it here. One mock draft that I saw that I was kind of intrigued in, and I wouldn't be surprised. Let's see if I can find it here. Come on. Where's round 2? Is this the one? Which is pick 50. Tight end.
Tight end. I got tight end written down also.
Yeah, Josh Oliver is who this guy has. He's more of a pass catching, and of course that would explain why we didn't, sign Rudolph to any kind of an extension.
Right. Well, I think
to
Rudolph
drop his
is
cap number, because he was an easy
down.
cap number person to help us with the cap.
Right.
Easy.
Exactly.
Last year, you could have increased 3 years on it.
Yep.
And that would have been what I expected them to do, but they did. So for that reason, I wouldn't be surprised if they did go tight end. And I kind of liked this guy out of San Jose State.
Have you heard of Jay Sternberger? That's who I got written down. He's
Tight end
from Texas A&M. The guy's a beast. He's 6'4", 251 pounds. Last year he had 41 catches, 834 yards, and 10 touchdowns. He was an All-American last year, and he definitely could be a future replacement for Kyle Rudolph, in my opinion.
I read one today of a Dawson Knox from Ole Miss. He didn't have any touchdowns this year, but they said the guy is as physical and as fast as it gets as a tight end. And the reason why they said he's a sleeper and rising in the draft is because he played with the two big shots at Ole Miss, the wide receivers, where they weren't featured, right?
Yeah.
And they figure those might be the two top receivers going. So
Yep.
I forget their names, but this Dawson Knox is on the
That's where the tight end position is going.
Right.
They want fast, strong guys that
So
can
he's got
run
great hands. He
and-
just
and-
played with the two top receivers, so
Yeah.
he didn't get a lot of targets.
Yeah. If he was the third, fourth option, depending
Right.
on what the running back did.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's definitely.
There's been guys linking the second pick to safety even.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I kind of like Harris, so we'll see.
Yeah.
Well, I got Jonathan
curses
Abrams
Yeah.
down in for a safety.
Yeah.
He's from Mississippi State. He's fast, brings the heat, and last year he had 93 tackles playing at Mississippi State, and that's actually a record at Mississippi State for tackles. So I think he could be a guy that's pretty darn good.
They had a safety from Iowa listed too. I saw Amani Hooker.
Oh,
From
yeah,
Iowa.
I've heard of him. Yep.
What about a defensive end?
They,
Yeah, right. Or
For
tackle.
Griffin?
I mean, when you tackle defensive end,
Griffin came back after what he went through last year.
I'm glad he took the pay cut. I mean, that was nice of him.
It was, definitely.
He didn't have to, but
I'm
I
glad
think
he
would've
came
been.
back, but I think in the future they're looking to replace him. And in my opinion, there's a LJ Collier.
Weatherly did a great job though too last year as a
When
part-time.
when he
Too.
came in for him. Yeah,
so
definitely.
that might be where they might looking too. But yeah, so positions of need like you're talking. Defensive tackle, they've got 8 picks. 8 total picks,
Yeah.
1 in each of the first 4 rounds, none in the 5th, 2 in the 6th, 2 in the 7th. And will definitely be, I think defensive tackle will definitely be taken. I think, Zimmer, there's going to be a cornerback taken. At some point.
Can we talk about the Trey Waynes rumor trade?
right.
Yeah,
I mean, we
yeah,
could
that's
hop
been-
and get another second-round draft pick.
You were
That's been-
you were talking the salary cap. That's what
Yeah.
people are talking about because
Yep.
then he'll have to pay him next year. And well,
Yeah,
know.
or we'll just straight up lose him.
I'd be worried about trading him right now because our depth is
Especially
not
for
quite
the
there.
first-
So you'd have to draft someone
I
to
know.
replace him.
That
the
is
fourth
the number
game,
one starter
Hill.
Right.
day one.
Right.
That's
So that would be
Scary.
And you
the.
got Hughes coming off of the ACL, so
Right.
Yep.
he might be a little slow to get started. Who
He'll
knows?
be in the slot.
right.
Yep, and so I mean, yeah, and like I said, with Holden Hill being gone for the first 4 games
Right.
now,
Yeah, he'll be the
Two,
nickel to Hughes.
that's another one. So yeah, I mean, I think those 2 combinations of Hughes coming off his ACL, Holden Hill being gone for the first 4 games, us needing only about $1 million and a half more cap to sign over our draft picks.
Right.
I think they find somebody to mix it, and I think we keep
Drop their
I think we
pay,
keep
yeah.
Wayans unless somebody just comes about and just blows us out of the water.
Right.
Never say never.
Yeah, no,
Exactly.
yeah.
But if somebody calls me up and just like, oh, you're like
Indy.
you cover the phone and be like, holy shit, so and so team, they just offered us this for Wayans. Okay, jump on it quickly before they
Fill
change
this
their
It's a
mind.
spot.
business
right
too.
now.
If you can free up some money and go get the best player on the board. I
Yeah,
mean,
exactly. That,
sometimes you gotta pull the
especially in
trigger.
second round, you got some first-round draft picks that are slid to the second round. So if you can get one of those guys, why not for Lanes?
I mean, it sounds like the offensive lineman too. It's a pretty
It's
heavy
deep this
class.
year.
It's deep.
Yeah.
There's a lot of linemen out there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's looking, like I said, it's such a crapshoot.
but I'd be okay with
It
draft
is.
picks 1 through 7 offensive linemen at this point,
Yeah,
just to get something.
Somebody
done.
will.
they'll
Be a
take
superstar.
for surely 2,
Right.
maybe even a third.
Even a dark
Right.
horse
I
quarterback
agree.
somewhere later rounds.
I've
I know.
heard that too. They've
I
talked
agree.
about
Running
that.
back.
We need a running back. Who left? I'm drawing a blank.
Murray.
Murray.
Yeah, he's with the
I liked
Saints.
Murray. I really liked Murray.
Yeah.
And he's gone, and we need to replace him because
need a
we
bigger
all know
back.
that Cook is kind of injury prone. So
Yeah, we need a bigger back
Bigger
too.
back
Because
that's
I mean
gonna
we
run through that middle.
Obviously kept Amir Abdullah, but he's also he's a smaller back
Right.
anyways.
Yeah, well, yeah.
So yeah, we need a little more of a bruiser back. So yeah, it's there's a lot of positions of need, and like I said, with the way our cap is, we need to nail these draft picks now, as many as possible each year, to keep our team young and under the cap, because we can't have busts and then expect to go anywhere
Right.
with our draft. And overall, I feel Spielman has been a above average drafter.
I think
I
he's done well.
love Spielman. Some people don't like him.
I know.
I really love him. What he's done for our team for all these years and who he's brought into us, it's been super exciting since he's been drafted.
He's had his mistakes, obviously.
Oh,
Quarterback
yeah.
position,
Who wouldn't?
not
Yeah.
the best. Not taking O-line enough times, and the one he did
Yep.
was Khalil. But I think overall, you take a look at from there to the undrafted people like Thielen.
Yeah. There you
That's on him for deciding to sign him, and that's on the coaching staff for coaching him up too. And it's just
It's gonna be interesting.
yeah,
It will be.
I'm excited.
Grab your popcorn.
Thursday.
Yes, I'm excited. I am excited. So let's go ahead and do a quick just rundown here, a little bit of the 2019 schedule, since that was just recently released. Also, let's take a look here.
Kind of scared me right when I seen it, but now after I looked at it more,
Yeah. I think
I'm a little bit more comfortable, and I got a lot more wins than losses. So
I think it's less of I don't think there's really no big juggernaut of like a 4-game spread.
great.
If there is, it might be towards the end of the season.
Yeah, the second
At
half looks a lot
Seahawks.
tougher.
Yeah, the second half definitely. We got to make hay in the first half.
Right.
And I mean, I could see us first 8 games 7-1, 6-2,
You're about where I'm at. Yeah.
because I feel one of our losses will
Yep.
be a split. We'll split the at Packers at Bears games.
Yeah, I'm
I have a
worried
feel.
about those because I have actually both those games as losses.
Yeah, I mean we could definitely lose both of them.
Yeah, Bears are no joke these
I can
days.
see us.
Packers are kind of
See,
coming. Who knows
I'm
what the
a
Packers,
show me
but-
you can do it for more than 1 year type of person with the Bears, because they always seem to do this.
Yeah, but I don't know.
They
They're stacked.
They
Yeah.
do great for 1 year.
A couple years they had that great defense that
Yep,
almost
and then they
took them through.
Yep, and then they drop a little bit, and then they drop, and then they irrelevant for several years, and they come out of nowhere.
They
Yeah.
have the right coach, though. I
See.
don't know if it's going to change. For
I don't think so either. I think
will
they're going to
see.
be.
Yeah, well, exactly. I think this whole year
I
is
think
just
Mitch is still
kind of a head scratcher. to be
I
honest
think
with
Mitch is still kind of a question mark at
you.
quarterback.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of his.
He's has his great moments, but he has some that are just
He
like
needs to prove me here yet.
Yep. So obviously at Giants they suck. Eagles at home, we beat Eagles at Philadelphia last year.
I think we
And
win.
We'll beat 'em.
Also,
I would say they got worse. At Lions,
Win.
we should beat them. Redskins, that should be a win. So yeah, so I'm looking at 7-1, hopefully. Worst case scenario 6-2 going in against the Chiefs.
That's kind of where I'm at.
Lose the
Right,
Chiefs.
Yeah, I think
Yep.
so too.
I mean, it's
With
at
Mahomes.
If it
It's
was
tough
here,
to-
if it was here, I'd give us a chance. But
Yeah.
at Kansas City, no. At Cowboys,
I think that's a win.
come on. Yeah, I'd say 75-25 win percentage on that one.
I got him as a loss.
Yeah,
I hate to do it because I hate the Cowboys.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know. I just
America's
think,
team.
I think they're starting to get a little ascension again, though. I mean,
They are with their quarterback and their running back. They are.
With
but they don't have a receiver.
Well, Cooper.
Yeah, that's
After
right.
Cooper.
They picked
That's
him
when
up
they did
last
turn it
year.
around.
That's
Look
right.
good.
Yeah,
but he'll
they
be going
do.
up against Rhodes
Yep.
or Wayans. So I
if
mean,
they're either healthy
yeah,
by
yeah,
then.
right. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. So then Broncos at home. That should be a win.
Win.
Then our bye week, a late bye week.
I like the late bye week.
Could be helpful.
Week 12 is always good.
Yep.
I think in 2009 when we had Brett Favre, I think we had a week 12 bye and almost went to the Super Bowl. Is that true?
I don't know if you're right, but it sounds good.
Yes. Yes.
And then so we got which is nice because of course we play Seattle again. It seems like we play Seattle every year.
Yeah, I'm sick of
Yeah,
it.
we do.
And it's rarely at home.
And it's a Monday night game,
That's
isn't
true.
it?
Yes.
Yeah, we got 5
Yes.
primetime
Yeah.
games this year.
And
That's a lot.
you almost just
After
want to put a
last
loss
year.
on
Ugh.
primetime games. The Vikings cannot
Well,
play
if-
on a primetime.
Especially if
Period.
you're looking at last year.
Right.
I couldn't believe every time there's
If the
another
game's-
primetime, like, no.
Any
no.
game, if it's not a noon start, I'm nervous.
I know.
Yeah.
I am
At least
too.
last year.
I do have them as a sleeper win though against the Seahawks.
That would be a big win, I think.
Just because the Legion of Doom
Yeah,
Boom is no longer really there.
They talk about Cousins taking up as much cap room as we have.
Yeah.
But now they've got Russell Wilson. They'll find out. They'll find
Yeah.
out here with him.
Definitely.
It's going to be so.
Yep.
Yeah, I've got a loss there for Shirley with Seahawks.
Okay.
Lions at home win.
Should win that one.
Yeah, at Chargers. That's kind of a wild card type one too, because I mean the Chargers.
I have a loss.
I do too, but Chargers always suck in December. They didn't last year, but in the past that's been their MO.
Right.
Dominant for the first 3 months and then just lose out.
Well, again, it depends on who's healthy there. They get hurt so much.
Yeah,
and
the
I don't
Chargers
know why.
seem to- yeah, they always seem to be banged
extremely.
up.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens there. I like Rivers. He's a great
I'm a big
quarterback.
fan of Rivers, too.
You never know what's
Do you
gonna
know that
happen.
he does not swear?
Yeah, he
I
never
didn't-
swears.
Big Christian guy.
I
He doesn't
love
do that, yeah.
watching his,
I
his
never- I didn't know
mic'd
that.
up
He's
thing.
pretty mouthy out
It's
there, too,
awesome.
though.
Yeah, he is mouthy.
Yeah.
But he
He's mouthy. I
never
love
it.
says a
Darn
swear
it.
word.
Yeah.
God darn it! And I'm like, I didn't realize that until like within the last 3-4 months.
I think he
So-
might be the
Yeah.
most underrated player in the history of
I
quarterbacks. mean,
agree
good
with
Lord.
that 100%.
That is a great player.
Guy is amazing. He should be in the Hall of Fame, in my opinion, once he retires. So
Yeah, it's so that'll be a game there too. Most likely a loss away game, but then we end up with Packers and Bears finishing
At
out the
home.
Bears again.
So I got Green Bay as a win.
Yep.
so do I. Yep.
You turn on the news or anything on the NFL, and it's all Packers again. What is the love affair with the Packers?
I
They
have no
have
idea.
Rodgers.
That's all they
Rodgers.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
You
all I
have
have.
nothing else but
I-
Rodgers. And as long as you have them, they'll be competitive. Don't
Devontae
get me
Adams
wrong.
coming up, but yeah, you basically only have Rodgers and Adams to
Yep.
catch
And
the
it's-
passes.
It'll be interesting to see what the new coach what that changes.
Right.
I think I am very interested in
in
seeing
the
what that
NFC. I
goes.
think they're the biggest wild card because they have Rodgers.
Right.
Exactly. That's
Yep.
the only reason they're there.
We'll find out this year. Who was holding the Packers back?
Yeah.
Was it Rodgers?
Or was it the coach?
Yes.
There's a lot of salt in that locker room, though, with Rodgers now, it sounds like.
Yeah, he seems kind of. Is anybody really surprised that he's kind
No.
of a diva?
No.
No. so
Could be rumors.
so I've got him ending 11-5, 12-4.
I got them at. My guess is going to be 13-3.
Damn.
I'm
That'd be
going
nice.
to go bold.
That's nice. I like bold.
The worst, I think, we're going to be 9-7.
That's where I'm at. 10-6, 9-7. The big dark horse for me is Kubiak. Mm-hmm. If he can somehow light a switch in that offense, or at least make it more consistent, then they're going to have a bigger win total. Because
Yep.
their defense will be able to shut some teams down. But if they can't score some points,
Yeah. Once again, and that's why I say it's such a another crapshoot.
It
Is
is.
guessing the record just before the season starts, let alone back here. We still got the draft to see what people draft. We got training camp to see who gets injured and who's
Mm-hmm.
out and how that'll change.
Right.
So I mean, obviously a lot can change in this. We might not be even anywhere close.
You brought about the Bears, how every other year they're almost, they're good, and the next year they're bad. That's kind of how the Vikings have actually gone. Vikings under Zimmer have gone every other year good and then not so good. 2 years ago, we were great at 13-3. Last year, not so much at 8-7-1. I'm just hoping and looking for the Vikings to surprise again. And
but last year they were probably 3-4 games should have won.
Yeah.
Should have, could have, would have, obviously.
Isn't that the Vikings though for
But
us
the
every
problem
year?
is it's like when the offense was on fire, then the defense couldn't stop anybody.
I know. Yeah.
In the Los Angeles
the
Rams
first
game
half.
last year, they
Yep,
should have
the first half of the
beat
year.
the Rams.
Yep.
I mean, that's one that stood out to me. It's like, well, they could walk with these guys,
Yep.
and yet
Then we then the offensive line and the constant and I think because Cousins was still used to or was just getting used to getting hit all the time, so he stood in the pocket a lot
Yeah.
better. And then as the
Right.
year went along, he started getting beaten down, and he's just like,
right.
that's where you see
Protect me.
the video of him closing his eyes and throwing it because he knows he's just about ready to
that
get
was a
nailed.
game where
Yep.
my like of Barr started to wane a little bit. He got burned a lot in that game.
Yeah.
And so whether or not he rebounds from all that, I think he will. I hope so.
Yeah, he looked better the rest of the season
Right, but I
overall
mean,
after that. But
I don't know. We'll see.
Yep.
They all need to step it up.
Yeah, it's going to be. I mean, it's going to be here before we know it.
Some really good teams in the NFL.
Yep.
Really good.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
it's getting
better and better.
better,
I think it's
more
because
competitive, too.
we're seeing better quarterbacks come into the league and take
right
over some
away,
of these
taking
teams
right away too.
Oh yeah, and It's going to be good.
Yep.
Should be a fun year.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Like I said, it's almost May. It'll be here before we know it.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be
First things first, the draft
Talk about the
this
NFL doing it right,
weekend.
though, huh?
yep. The way they
Free
spread
agency,
it
you got the draft,
Yep.
and then it'll be
You know.
the training camp or the off-season workouts
Yep.
here in July and
Yep.
whatever. And then
out, then right into the training.
there it
Yep.
goes.
They tried to bring in that new football league. Did you ever catch on to
I
any of that
watched
stuff?
opening weekend
Watched one game.
part of the games. I mean, it was decent.
I tried to. Yeah, it was decent, but
It'll be interesting to
the
see what
announcers
XFL
there.
does
Yeah,
again.
I don't know. They've already failed.
I think they just need to do a minor league system.
I do
too.
I
Get them
think that
ready.
needs to be-
Get these guys going and get them ready for the NFL experience. Bring them up to speed with the fastness of the NFL game, because there is definitely a difference between college and NFL and the speed of the game, and that's one of the biggest differences these NFL players say when they come into the league is just trying to catch up to the speed of the game
Sort
at the
of
NFL level.
A developmental league. I mean, something like
Yeah.
a minor league.
Yeah, yeah. No,
Exactly.
And that
But who
might,
knows?
who knows? We'll see what if they need to do another league like that. They need somebody who's going to have the money backing, and I guess McMahon has been selling off a lot of his stock to gain some more capital, so he can. So
I'm
he
sure
can-
he's worried about
because-
this other league failing in.
Well, yeah, and they didn't even
5
finish
weeks.
the year, and they, that's what I say. They need somebody who has the capital to make it go more than 1 year.
Right.
I mean, you're not gonna have a breakout hit year one.
Uh-uh.
It's gonna take
Yeah.
4, 5. It's just like a business, just like any starting
Right.
any new business.
Right.
You need
Got
the
to
first 5
generate
years.
the people to watch it and everything. If you don't give it time, nothing's going to grow.
Having a team in San Antonio though, brilliant by the other one. I can't remember where the XFL ones are, but that was one of the games. It was sold out every single week in San Antonio. They're all cheering like they've been
Texas
fans for
loves
this,
their football.
fans with
I
this,
mean,
fans for them for
Texas.
years. But it just shows that San Antonio might eventually have an NFL team in there. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't be surprised. But,
right. Exactly.
but we'll see what the schedule breaks down for the rest of the year. We'll see what happens from the draft on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, off season, all that fun stuff, and it'll be good. I'm gonna wrap it up. Thank you guys for coming in.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
Appreciate
Fun.
it. We'll once again I'll go live a little bit from the draft party Thursday night, probably around 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock hour.
I will tune in.
Yes, Steph, check it out, and we'll talk a little bit there, and then we'll be reviewing the draft next week and talking Twins next week. So make sure you tune in for that. Thank you one more time, guys. Thank you, FamZone, and thank you guys for listening. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe, share it for your friends and family, all that fun stuff. Thank you for listening. We'll see you next week.